straight into what we're doing today, okay? Now, people have asked me again and again why I do what I do, what drives me, what do I believe, and I just thought that today I would use that opportunity to share what I call our belief in the Single and Ready Club, what we believe, why we're doing what we're doing, and why we do it so passionately. So I'll be sharing there are about 10 of them. They're on our website. It's www.singleandreadyclub.com, but I'll just share them here, and I hope somebody picks one or two things, all right? Now, the first thing that we believe is that the family is the most important institution on earth. The family is the most important institution on earth. Okay, why is this the case? Because every human being you see walking the face of the earth had the opportunity to be born through the agency of two humans. All right, and that forms that person's immediate family. Now listen, whether the birth was intentional, expected or not, whether the activities that led to the birth was a mistake or was just an accident, all right, so long as that child is born, that child, is the offspring of those two people who came together in union, to give birth to that child. So family is the most basic. Every human being in this world came in through the agency of the family. Okay, and then whether both parents were there or not, even if it was just one of the parents that was there to raise the child up, that again is family. Even if the parents were not there and it was a stranger who took care of the person, that again is family. Even if there was no stranger but the person just found his way or her way, into an orphanage home, that again is family. So the point is, every human being who walks the face of the earth had the opportunity to experience family, came in through the agency of family. That is why this is very important, and also because it is something that from the beginning was established by God. From the beginning, when God created humans, when he created man, all right, he said that man should go forth to be productive, to replenish the earth, all right? And the way man was going to do that was by giving birth. And you see, God in his wisdom structured it this way from the beginning. Every living creature, all of the animals that he made them male and female. Why? For the purpose of reproduction. All right. And the same thing with the man. After making the man, the physical man, Adam, at first, let me not go into too much theology, but of course, at the beginning in Genesis 1, verse 26 to 28, when he said that, let us make man, the Bible says that, and God made them male and female, he made them. But in chapter 2 of the book of Genesis, we see that now God took from the dust of the earth and formed the man. Okay, but initially, when God created man, he spoke about the spirit of man. He had created man in spirit as male and female. It's there in scripture. Okay, when man was going to be put on the face of the earth, God created Adam first, and then later on created Eve out of Adam. Okay, but my point is that God made them male and female. Why? For the purpose of reproduction. All right, now, that is why every human being comes out through the agency of these. All right. You don't plant a human being. Okay. It has to be the action of the male seed and the seed of the woman. All right. So somewhere on the egg of the woman, I meant to say. All right. Now, so the family is very important. That's just what I'm trying to establish. It is the first contact. It's the first point of contact that any human being has on earth. Why is this important? If the basic foundations are laid at home, if basic values and principles are taught and imbibed in that child from the beginning, guess what? That child will grow up to, what's the word now? To produce those fruits, of the seeds that have been sown in him. He will produce those values and will replicate them. In the same vein, if there are no values, no positive values, imprinted on that child by virtue of deliberate training, the environment he or she is growing up in, the experiences around his growing up, if there are no positive values, what happens is that the same negative vibes that child grows up with, is what he expresses and then transfers. replicates in the world out there. All right. So it is very important. We must drill down to family every time we're trying to see where things are going wrong in society. We must drill down to the family unit. Why? Because if the family unit is working well, society will work well. If more people who are out there on the streets had proper training, had the opportunity to learn what love is, real love, not the one that wants something in return, not the one that is coming after you because of what it will get from you, okay, but true sacrificial love, acceptance. Now, these things I'm talking about are things that many adults are still dealing with, and it is driving their lives, and it is driving them nuts and leading them into all manner of terrible mistakes and associations that they should not have any business being in. Love, acceptance, that basic acceptance, of who you are, the way you are. All right. A lot of people, it was in search for acceptance that decided getting into all kinds of relationships. Some of them probably because that person was the first person in their life who made the slightest, kindest gesture at them, by wanting them or by listening to them, even if the person just wanted them for his or her own personal gains. But what happened? Because there was no acceptance anywhere in the home front, they went out there just craving and crying and looking for anyone who will validate them. Okay, and then they landed in wrong hands. And in some cases, just because they are desperately searching for this, they go any and everywhere just to find meaning. These are some of the things that should have been imbibed in them from their family. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we're doing all of this because we have to strengthen the family unit. We need people to know that family is not just about giving birth to children. No. You have to be deliberate about raising them. Family is not just about getting married. You have to be deliberate about your marriage. You have to be. Okay, I'm coming to it is one of the points that I'll talk about very soon. But you have to be deliberate. Okay, you need to know that. You need to know that. Don't just jump in because it is what's in vogue, or because it's that time of your life, or because your hormones and your body is telling you right now I need a guy, or right now I need a girl, or right now I want to be a mommy, right now I'm old enough to be a daddy. No, that is not why you jump into familyhood. You need to get in prepared, you need to get in informed, and you need to get in, with dedication and commitment, because it is a lifelong commitment. All right. So again, that first point, the family is the most important institution on earth. Why? Because it is the individual's first contact with the earth, and to a large extent, it determines the outcomes of that person's life. We need to keep establishing this. We need to keep establishing this over and over again. People need to know that the family front is very important. People need to know that parenting is very important, is very deliberate. Don't just give birth to children because you can give birth. Don't just get married because you're of age. Have a proper understanding of what it entails. Have a proper plan. Be deliberate. Let me move on to the other points before I put all of them into this. So that was just the first point. What we believe in the Single and Ready Club, that the family is the most important institution on earth. Okay, because it's the individual's first contact with earth, and to a large extent, it determines the outcomes of their lives. Okay, if you want to fix society, start fixing the family. That's just what we're trying to say. Okay, now the second point there is that getting the right family begins with being in the right relationship. Okay, having a right family begins with having the right relationship. This is very key, okay? It is this relationship that typically builds up and becomes marriage, that builds up and becomes, a family unit where you're now having children, and it just goes on and on, okay? Take note. I was saying to, who was it I was talking to recently, and I said something that parents need to know this, that they are very responsible for the kind of lives that their children, their wards are living out there. Why are they responsible? Because whether knowingly or unknowingly, whether deliberately or not, they have trained, their children in a particular way by the kind of marriage they have modeled, by the kind of personalities they have modeled, by the kind of lifestyle that parents have modeled. They have taught their children a particular kind of behavior, and this is very, 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 very important, because what happens is that person grows up with all of this domestication, whether right or wrong, until they know better, and they go out and live it out, in their interaction with every other person. So take note, somebody who grew up in a hostile environment where there was nothing friendly, where you always had to fight for anything you're going to get, even at home, where you couldn't trust your next sibling or neighbor, somebody who grew up like that is going to have an outlook on life that makes you feel like, hey, nobody can be trusted. You have to look over your shoulders all the time. You have to suspect anyone who is coming close to you. Nobody is coming close to you because they really like you. They're coming close to you because they want to get something out of you. So you have to be on your guard. You have to, when that kind of person gets out there in society, such a person would have challenges accepting genuine love, and kindness from other people. Why? Because he's always going to interpret it in a negative way. Why? Because of the beliefs that have been unconsciously taught to that person. You see, so this is very important. And for every person who is yet to get married, you need to think about this. Before you are just pursuing that guy or pursuing that girl because of what they look like, you have to think about it. What kind of home am I going to raise with this person? What kind of values am I going to raise with this person? Right now, you're dating him and he is terribly hot-tempered. And when he gets angry, he does stupid and dangerous things. You know it, you're seeing it, but all you're thinking of is yourself. You're not thinking yet that what will happen when the children come, when they see this kind of animalistic behaviors from their father. What will happen when he loses it one day and throws something at them or hits them in a terrible way? What will happen? You have to think long term. You have to think family from the relationship stage. Do you understand this? So you have to think it and you need to see it. And if it is not in sync with what things you so desire for your life and your future, please do not get in. Do not get in. That is why I actually like to talk to people, to singles, as a matter of fact, because you still have the opportunity to get it right. Don't rush. Don't jump in. You still have the opportunity to get it right. So getting your family right starts with being in the right relationship, because it is the values that you have exalted in that relationship that will take you guys into marriage. It is those same values you would use to raise your children, and you're either making the world a better place or a worse off place by the kind of family you are raising. That is what it is. You're either contributing good and peace to the world, or you're contributing the next generation of evil and problems and menace that the world is going to face. How? By the kind of family that you are raising. So you need to think long-term, young people. You need to think it. This lady I'm so much attracted to, you call it in love with, what are her values? Are we really seeing the same? What are we thinking about for the future? What do we think about character? What do we think about virtues and values that really matter to us? What do we think about conflict resolution? What do we think about parenting and raising children? I was saying something just somewhere recently, how that, despite all the notice that you get from when you get married to someone, despite all the notice you get that children are on the way, especially when the woman gets pregnant, at least you get 9 months notice. It doesn't take you by surprise. You get 9 months notice, that a child is coming. Despite all of that notice that people get, they still go ahead and act like they are surprised when the child eventually comes. Why? Because there was no idea what to do and how to take care of that child. There was no learning. There was no skill acquisition. There was nothing. Suddenly there's a baby in front of you, and because you completely lack wisdom, knowledge, understanding on what to do, before you know it, people get tired of their children. They just get frustrated. They just, oh my God, what's going on? I can't take this. This baby is just stressing me. Oh my God, just stop crying, for goodness. It's a baby. It's gonna cry if you don't, that's how they talk. That's how they communicate with you. You see, people just get frustrated, and from that early stage begin to, emit all kinds of negative vibes to that child. Did the child beg you to be born? No. You had all the time. You were enjoying yourself doing what you were doing, but you didn't know that responsibility was beckoning. So my point is, you need to think it through. You need to be ready. You need to be prepared. Okay, because raising a family is big deal. Raising a family is big deal. So that's the second point. To get it right in your family, you need to first get it right in your relationship. Okay, so my challenge to you is that person you're with now, when you look at the future, what do you see? When you look at the kind of family that you guys are going to have, what do you see? If all you have in your relationship right now is quarrel, and you guys have not learned how to solve and fix it, listen to me, you would naturally translate that into your marriage, okay? You would translate that into raising children, and guess what? Your children are going to watch you all the time quarreling and fighting, and they're going to start picking sides. They're going to start having biases against one father or mother. They're going to grow up thinking life is like that. And guess what? When they get in their relationships, eventually they are going to be quarreling with their spouses. Why? Because this is what they mirror, what you mirror to them. This is what you taught them, that this is how life is. This is how family is meant to be. Okay? Unless those people get in contact with deliberate training and, a mind shift or change of belief system and reprogramming, they are going to naturally produce the same material that they were raised up with. That is why this is delicate. All right. Now, the third point, which is the third thing that we believe in the Single and Ready Club, is that there is a right way to love, and this right way can be learned. Let me say that again. There is a right way to love, and it can be learned. Now, that may sound somehow to you. What do you mean? So, you just love. Once you just love, you love. But listen to me. First of all, a lot of people don't even understand what love is. People have always interpreted love from the selfish point of view, from what they get point of view. And listen, it's very clear. From the moment you see that girl and you're tripping for her, what exactly are you thinking? From the moment you see that cute guy who looks like what you want and you're tripping for him, what exactly are you thinking? You see, most times from the beginning, all you're thinking is, oh, I want this for myself. Yeah, that's okay at that stage. That's attraction level. That's okay. I want this. Oh, she looks like what I want. Oh, he looks so dazzling. He looks so promising. I want this for myself. That's okay. But then, what are you willing to contribute to that person's life? That is where the true test of love starts coming in. It's not just what you're going to get from that person, but how far are you willing to stay committed to this person's welfare and well-being? That's where love comes in. So you see, many times all people think of is the attraction and then of course the lust, okay? Their feelings go wild. They want to, share intimate moments with this person who's the object of their attraction and desire. And before you know it, they get romantically involved and they interpret that as love. But then, if you ask the right questions, how come time and time again, all the relationships or several of the relationships, let me not generalize, that have this foundation, why do they break up? Why do they have issues eventually? Because love is not about the feelings. It's not about the emotions. It's not about the attraction. It's beyond that. It is commitment. And it's a deliberate one. It doesn't happen by mistake. That is why you really don't fall in love. You fall in lust. You fall in attraction at first sight. But you really don't fall in love because it is deliberate. You have to take your time and choose and be conscious of the fact that I'm going to be committed to this person. I'm going to give everything I have to this person. I'm going to dedicate my life to making this person a better person. That is what true love is. Is that commitment. Is that selflessness. It's not what you can grab out of that person, but what you can do for them, how you can contribute to their lives, how you can make them better, how you can help them achieve their dreams. And in them achieving their dreams, you are deriving joy and satisfaction. That is what the true love is. Okay, so when I tell people that there is a right way to love, this is what I am saying. I'm saying that people need to learn the commitment part of love. They need to learn the genuine interest to someone's welfare and well-being. They need to learn that part of love. Not just the part that makes the butterflies in your tummy to fly around. Not just the type that gives you goosebumps and goose pimples. Not just the type that when you see thinking of, you're just smiling and hugging your pillow and just imagining the romance. No, it's beyond that. It's work. It's commitment. It's responsibility. It is service. And so this is where there's a challenge. Where many people, only think of what they can get. Only think of what people will do for them. Now they are falling in love, in quotes, and it is requiring them to be of service to another person, and they find this extremely stressful. Loving is being of service to somebody. If you have not learned how to serve, you are going to struggle in your love life, because all you would be thinking of is what the other person should do for you, is how the other person will meet your need, is how your spouse is supposed to do this and make you feel this way, but you're not going to be conscious enough of the fact that you have to contribute to their lives, to their well-being, to their success, to their all-round fulfillment. That is your work, Mr. Loverboy. That is your work, Mr. Lovergirl. It's not just about the feelings. Okay, so there's a right way to love, and it can be learned. That is the good part. The fact that you have been getting it wrong all the while, quarreling all the time, not knowing that there should be tolerance, not knowing that there should be understanding, not knowing that you need wisdom and knowledge. Okay, the Bible says in Romans 24 from verse 3 that by wisdom a house is built. Okay, it's by wisdom. It's not by feelings. It's not by attraction. It's not by goosebumps or goose pimples. It's not by lust. It's not even by love. It's by wisdom. A house is built, and by understanding, it is established. And through knowledge, his rooms are filled with beautiful treasures. You need to invest in learning about relationships. It's just surprising how that, people never really learn about relationship until they're having problems. And sometimes until the problem has so matured that everything is falling apart, that is when they now start getting involved in speaking with a counselor or something. You need to deliberately invest in learning, because this is a very important area of your life. Okay, it surprises me when people describe love as, love is just what you say it is. Love is different things to different people. What I may call love now might not be what you call love. And I'm just saying, what are you saying? Which other concepts about life do you define like that? Which other concepts about life? If I say what's an elephant, do you say an elephant is what you say it is? Do you say it is an elephant can be this to one person and is that to another person? I mean, just think about any concept. If I say what's a car, are you going to describe a car as just what, just what you say it is? It can be one thing to you and another thing. So why do you think love is something that is just abstract and is subject to any and everybody's interpretation and opinion? No, there is something called the right way to love. There is something that love is, and that is dedication, commitment, intentional and willful commitment to someone else, to their well-being, to their welfare. And I like telling people, even if you're not getting a reward for that, it is that level of commitment. Even if you're not getting the reward for it, even if all you're putting in, is not yet being reciprocated, to you, even if you're not getting it back in the same measure that you're putting it in, but you get fulfilled knowing that you are making somebody happy, you're making somebody's life better off. And you see, because love always hopes, because love always trusts, in that assurance and in that hope, you would stay committed because you have chosen to, and along the line, because it's not a devil that you are in love with, it's a human being. With time, that person too would learn what, the same commitment you're giving to them, and replicate it or reciprocate the gesture to you. You see, so there is a way to love, and it can be learned. Start dropping all of those ideas that you have had about love is just the way you feel, about love is about butterflies in your tummy, about love being, what are those interesting things? When you fall in love, you just lose control. You don't even know, something just takes over you. It's called love. You don't have any, you see, if something has taken control of you, you should go to the doctor. You should see a psychiatrist. You're not sane anymore. Something has taken control of your mind. Love does not make you go get insane or get crazy. All right. Yes, I know you can be crazily in love, like they say, but hey, listen, I already cried a sea road. Do you understand? There's this example I like to give. Some people say it's a little bit extreme, but I just like to use it because it paints a picture, okay, of how drastically your state of craziness of drowning in love can revert and can just change in the split second. Now I ask this question: if you meet somebody He's everything you have desired. I mean, the love is intense. The guy is just, blowing your mind. Everything you have wanted, he's doing it. He's checking on you. He's sending you flowers, sending you cakes, buying you, the things you're just having fun, And then the first time you have to visit him at his house, he tells you, wait for me here in the parlor. I will be back. And then he comes back and tells you, hey, don't go anywhere. Just stay here, okay? Let me just do a few things. I will be back. Don't leave the parlor. And then, you're in your boyfriend's house. He goes in, you're waiting 5 minutes, he's not out. You're just enjoying yourself. You just decide to take a walk around. He has this beautiful, you get into the kitchen, beautiful kitchen, your dream house. You're already seeing yourself in the house. Now, you're already imagining the things. Once I leave here, I'll change this curtain. I do this, I do that. You're already seeing yourself in the house. And then you just open the fridge. And the first thing you saw when you opened the fridge was refrigerated human head in his fridge. That was what you saw. Then, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to say, oh, this head is so sexy, it's so romantic. Oh my God, he even keeps human head in his fridge. Oh wow, this guy is so caring, so thoughtful. Is that what you're really going to do? Is that what you're going to do? Now, you will discover that thing you thought was love, will automatically switch to safety and survival mode first. Security and preservation mode is what you'll be thinking of. Straight out of the house, you're running away. Why? Because suddenly you discovered something that changed what you were feeling. Now, that is exactly what it is. That's what feelings are. Feelings can change like this. Split second. That is why you don't love people in a hurry. That is why you don't throw all those commitments just in a hurry. That is why there is knowledge involved. That is why there is conversation. That's why we tell people, talk, spend time talking, not loving up, not kissing and cuddling. Spend time talking. Spend time understanding yourselves. Do you understand? Spend time learning a lot about marriage, about relationship, about family, about raising children, about the future, about your career, about where you're going to together. Spend time thinking of all those things and talking about those things. Uche says barbecue, take a slice. You take a slice, ma? I'll take a bite. You be jackpot, you run for your life. So that's what I'm saying. There is a right way to love, and that right way can be learned. Don't follow your feelings. Take time to listen to this kind of programs I'm having. Read relationship books. Don't wait for things to get bad before you start asking questions. Okay? Don't wait for things to spoil before you start asking questions. Many people, the closest ever shot they have had at learning about marriage in an organized way is when they are getting ready for their marriage and they tell them, hey, you have to go for marriage counseling. And they just do that out of compulsion and obligation. They don't even listen to what's being said. They don't even really care because all that's in their mind is, I'm getting married to this lady. They're excited. They don't learn. When they get in and all the issues start, you start wondering, oh my God, how did I get married to this devil? Oh, the worst mistake I've made in my life was marrying you. Oh, this. And I start hearing all of those things and it's so heartbreaking. Why? Because there was a time when this person meant the whole world to you. So what happened? What has changed? Someone said the devil got into the spouse. No. No devil got in. That devil was always there because you never noticed it. It was there, but you never noticed it. It was there from the beginning. If your eyes were clear, when you were still doing lovey-lovey, you may have seen it and you may have known what to do, to save yourself. So my point is, Learn about relationship, learn about marriage, learn about parenting, learn about these things, because you're going to spend the rest of your life doing these all things being equal, okay? And the way marriage is actually designed is supposed to be such that when you get in, you stay there. It's not supposed to be such that you get in and you just feel one kind and just get out. It's just not working a beg. Oh, we've lost feelings for each other. Oh, we are growing apart. Oh, we don't understand each other anymore. Some of these things you hear, many of the issues that even cause this separation are things that can be worked through. Yes, there are extremes, but many of the issues are things that can be worked through if both parties had the right mindset towards marriage. All right. And then that takes me to the next point. The next point is the fact that building a successful home requires deliberate commitment from both spouses. It's not just one person. I see some young men, when you ask them why they chose the lady they're going after for wife, you hear things like, with this one, she's very hardworking, she fears God, she's a good girl. They just think of the person who meets every other problem in their life how will I put this now, They just look for the person who will right all their wrongs. Let me put it like that. So you are not a serious person. You are not serious with God. You are very indisciplined. You can play and jump up and down. You can just live your life as carelessly as you want. But let me marry this girl because, she will take care of the home. What they don't know is that it takes two to make it work. It takes two. If only one person is bringing in all of the effort, it's going to be frustrating. They're going to get burnt out. Okay. It takes two to make the home a pleasurable place. It takes both of you. It takes that commitment, that willingness, that sacrifice. Okay. See, don't live your life based on the pictures and the videos you see of people on Instagram, on social media. Don't do that. You will just be led very far astray, very, very far and very, very quickly. Listen to me. There are genuine struggles in marriages, genuine. And you see, the interesting thing about some of these struggles is it's not because any spouse is trying to be wicked or is trying to be bad. No, they're just human beings who don't know how to act better, who don't know how to behave better. Do you understand? They're just human beings being themselves. But what happens? Sometimes it gets so intense, that they just think they can no longer live together. That, this person is just so terrible. But listen to me. No, they didn't wake up that morning thinking they were going to be terrible. They are just being themselves. They don't know better. That is why you need to learn. Do you understand? That's why you need to put in the effort. That's why you need to put in the sacrifice. You need to put in the required tolerance. For goodness sake, you will tolerate a lot in marriage. Some of you who say, me, I can't, I can't even, how do you say it again? Me, I don't take rubbish, I serve it to you hot, fire for fire. You don't do that in marriage. In marriage, you have to learn how to talk to your spouse. You have to know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. Because many times the things that cause problems are not just what was said, but how it was said and when it was said. Okay? Because in marriage and in relationship, okay, sometimes, like I've said this over and over again, sometimes what is more important is not just what you say, but how you said it, and when you said it, and where you said it. Okay, something could have been taken easily and just lightly, but you said it in the presence of his friends, and now he's going to be angry because you did not respect him. Do you understand that? Okay, now something would have been okay for her, but I mean, there's some ladies who can be really private. Yeah, they will accept your wedding proposal, but you dare not make that proposal a public proposal. They'll walk out on you. You see? So you need to even understand the person you're dealing with. You need to know how to say what you're saying, when to say it. Okay, it's not about just what is being said. So you need to know this, all right? It requires the deliberate commitment from both parties. It takes two. It takes two. Someone says you will take it, or you will take the nonsense and join the rubbish. Yes, that's how marriage works. You have to learn to tolerate some of those things. You have to take it. You see, someone dropped a comment here. Let me just read it. Uche, he said, for those of us who are singles, dating, courting, one easy and best way to grow and shape yourselves is to bring them to this platform. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for even capitalizing it. Yeah, thank you. Bring them to this platform and other platforms like this. Yeah, because you really need to learn. Learning is what you really need to do. Is what you need to do. Wow. See, relationship is what reveals the core of who you are. It's what brings out who you really are. It's what shows or demonstrates what you really believe, what you really think. It's your relationship and marriage that brings it out. Because nothing else touches your life as personally as that. The next thing that comes that close to you is your money. Because money is life. You work for money. You exchange your time and life to get money. Okay, so the next thing that comes that close, that personally, is money. But relationship is the first real thing that brings you to your most vulnerable position. That is why you need to be prepared for it. That's why you need to know about it. Okay, and that's why you need to know that building a successful home requires deliberate commitment from both spouses. Don't wait for your husband to be everything you have desired. Don't wait for your wife to be everything that you have desired. You be everything that you desire. That is where the work is. You be it. You be it. All right. You want your home to be the most peaceful place on the face of the earth. You be ready to bring peace, to be the umpire for peace. You be ready to be sacrificial, to tolerate, to overlook some things, to take some nonsense and some rubbish. You be ready. You be ready for it. It's not going to happen automatically. Have you heard about people whose problems started from the wedding ceremony? Have you heard about couples like that who started quarreling and fighting over, you did not give food to my people, but why are you giving to the other people? The other spouse will not say, oh, so it's my people that are not important. A quarrel has started. Let me move on. All right, but please get the point. It's not one person that will make it work. It's both of you. Be ready for it. Be ready for the issues. And one of the ways you can be ready for those issues is to identify the things that cause problems, the things that cause quarrel. If you were in a proper relationship, you know your partner's temperament. You know what things, would make them just lose it. You know what things they don't like. And you will avoid those things. You will make the deliberate effort to avoid anything that would bring pain or grief or sorrow or trouble to your spouse. All right, let me move on to the next point. The other point is that positive virtues can be learned, irrespective of the negative experiences that has characterized one's life. In other words, you may have grown up in a home where there was never an iota of unity, peace, love, acceptance. That may have been your reality growing up. But with knowledge, right now, you can desire something different and you can actually learn about it. Okay. I said at the beginning, that many people just carry literally everything they picked from their family and begin to live that out in their own relationship. Okay. Even if what they picked were bad and, and negative vices. Okay. Now I'm letting you know that even if that was your experience, you can choose to empower yourself, to empower your mind. Okay, your life is transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's such a powerful place. Your mind is such a powerful instrument. It can transform the course of your life. Okay, what goes on in your mind. So please take note. Those positive virtues that you desire, those positive virtues that you like, those positive virtues you want to see, even if you never experienced them, you can bring them you can introduce them to your life. You can introduce them to your marriage. Okay. You can introduce them to your family. You be the one that will bring it, that will make it happen. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. I keep saying this over and over again because I talk to people almost every day. This is what I do. I'm a counselor for relationship and marriage, and many times when people are complaining, you already see through what the complaint is, because somewhere down the line, all they're just trying to say is, I expected him or her to do that. I expect that from him or her, but it's not coming, and they're offended. And sometimes I flip it and ask them back, when last did you do this? What would happen to you if you did that? What will happen? Because many times you're just thinking of what you would get. What happens to you giving it? What happens to you being it? All right. Let me move on to the next point because our time is just running so fast. I don't want to have to do this again next week. I have something else planned out for the rest of the month of August. Okay. Oh yes, this point is very important. In fact, this is why I'm very particular about talking to singles. Okay. This point is very, very important. Okay. And it is that an individual's wholeness and quality of character determines their performance in a relationship. An individual's wholeness and quality of character determines their performance in a relationship. What does that simply mean? It simply means that it is who you are as a person that you take into your relationship and into your marriage. If you are a kind individual, you will be kind in your relationship and you will be kind in your marriage. If you are an understanding person, a considerate person, as an individual, it is that same considerate you and that same quality you will take into your relationship and into your marriage. Now, on the flip side, if you're a hot-tempered person and you don't do anything about it, you will carry that same hot temper into your relationship and into your marriage. If you are a careless person, you will take that same carelessness into your relationship and into your marriage. If you are an indisciplined fellow, you will carry that same indiscipline with everything, indiscipline with your personal goals. You never achieve anything you set your heart to do because you would rather run after every other thing than put in the work and the discipline to achieve that goal. So you always have excuses. Have you met people like that? Oh, they will bore you, telling you all the great things that they could have done and they could do, but they never do. All right? Indiscipline is what it is. Okay, not disciplined with their personal goals. And that's why I would tell people, don't listen to sweet talk. Don't listen to nice promises. Look for patterns. What has this person achieved with his level of wisdom? What has he done for himself? What are the patterns in this person's life? Not nice sounding things, not smooth talkers. They can tell you what you want to hear. But where are the results? Look at this person's life. Where are the results? Why are you where you are now? Okay, why are you here? Ask questions, engage, discuss. You will find out a lot of things. You'll find out that this person is full of excuses. You will find it out. Okay, you will find it out. So a lot of people are indisciplined with finances. 1 minute you have a big break, the next minute you're broke. 1 minute you have a lot of money, the next minute you're buying all the things that you don't need to impress people who will not notice and who don't care, just because you want to feel in a particular way. You want to feel special. You want to feel on top of the world. You see, so you need to look out for things like that. If you're an indisciplined person, you'll be carrying that same indiscipline into your relationship and into your marriage. Oh, what about those who are indisciplined with the opposite gender? You cannot see girl and face front. You will carry that same indiscipline to your relationship. You'll be in a great relationship with somebody who you think you love, who you think you want to settle with, but because you have not dealt with that problem, you will pursue every skirt you see in the bus stop, in the office, in the church, in the mall, and on the street. You would run after them. If you are that young lady who hasn't learned discipline, okay, you would have a guy, but you will see another guy with beards and chest, and you will want to collect that one too. You will see another one with money and fine car. You want to collect that one too. You will see another one with poise and gait and who speaks so well. You want that one too. You see, indiscipline. Take note, it is the same fundamental qualities and values you have now that you would transfer into your relationship and into your marriage. That is why you must take time to learn these positive virtues now. If you have noticed that in all your relationships, they always break up because they say you're too hot-tempered. They say you're always getting angry quickly. They say you're impatient. If everybody's saying this about you, don't you think you want to pay attention to it? Do you understand? I mean, these different people who may not have even known themselves could not have had any meeting anywhere where they decided that, okay, you know what, let's just describe this person like this. Even though it's not Tito, let's just lie against him or her. No, they didn't have any meeting. But from the interaction with you, it was who you are. It was the vibes who you are is vibes. That's why you meet some people and you meet some people and they just emit these negative vibes and you just feel like, no, I'm not feeling this person. I can't be friends with this person. You just meet some people and you think, oh, this person is just too proud. Why? Because it's the vibes. It's the signals just sending out. Do you understand? You need to learn. Now, if people have complained, if your previous relationships, they have complained about this particular area of your life, you want to take time to check it out, to sit with yourself. Do you understand? And see how you can become a better person. Don't say that's their business. They can all go to hell. This is who I am. No, if you continue like that, nobody will find you a sweet person. Do you understand? So if there's something people are complaining about, you want to pay attention to it. Your first relationship, they say, this one, very insulting, very, very rude. The next person you dated said the same thing, very rude. Next person said, very rude and proud. My dear, calm down. Ask yourself questions. Am I really rude? What are the signals I'm giving out that makes people think I'm rude? What is the way I behave to them and make them... Now, the truth is when you learn how to start asking these kind of questions, you may just discover that it was probably because of something about the way you grew up. Something about you having to be firm and assertive and knowing what you're doing and fighting for everything you have to get. That might be the reason why people are saying these things about you. Okay. But if you don't pay attention to it, then you'll not even be able to trace it down to where it all started to now learn how to overcome it and become a better person. I hope somebody understands what I'm saying. It is the you that you are now that you will take into your relationship and your marriage. So this you, are you enjoying it? This you, that's how we ask it then. Can you date you? Can you marry you? I remember one time someone, I think it was a church service on relationships and stuff like that. And the pastor said something like, oh, may your children be exactly like you. Or may your children marry somebody who is exactly like you. And some people said, God forbid. And the guy said, really? Really? So you're not even proud of yourself. But guess what? It is this you that you are mirroring to them. It is this you that you're not proud of that you're taking into that relationship. So you need to learn this. You need to learn this. And really, people need to own the responsibility for their lives and their actions and their behavior. People need to own it. You need to tell yourself that, see, am I not tired of always having to quarrel with people? Am I not tired of it? Can't I just be a sweet person? Am I not tired of having to fight everybody? Am I not tired of making enemies everywhere I go? Am I not tired of it? You want to have that conversation with yourself and start looking for the way to adjust your behavior. Because it is the quality of character you have now that will determine how you will perform in a relationship. If you are an impatient person, you will not be patient with your spouse. You people will quarrel severally over it because you're impatient. If you're self-centered, oh wow, you will take that same self-centered behavior and nothing will frustrate your spouse more than that. You're not the only one here. You have to think about me too. You have to think of other people, but no, it is what I want, when I want it, how I want it, just where I want it. It's all about me. So take note. The quality of character you have now is what will determine how your relationship and marriage will be. Don't think your marriage will be sweet just because you want a sweet marriage. Don't think your relationship will be nice just because you want a nice relationship. No, it is ultimately who you are that you would reproduce. It's just like what we teach people in leadership. In leadership, you teach what you know, but you reproduce who you are. You teach what you read off any book or what you just teach it. You can say it. But what transfers from you is who you are. That's what you reproduce. Because it's more than word of mouth. It's more than just talk. The rest of your life mirrors a kind of behavior. Okay, when people look at you, what do they think? And this speaks right now to your personal character, your whatever it is that forms your value system, and let them be positive, I beg you. Okay, what are those things that form your value system? All right, what are those things? It is who you are now you will take into marriage. It is who you are now you will take into relationship. Oh, I have just a few minutes. I need to run through. Let's just quickly round this off. Okay. I also used to say this. One of the things we believe is that people can meet anywhere. It doesn't matter where you met. What matters is the conversations that take place. You can meet in church, mosque, bus stop, mechanic workshop, cinema, anywhere. You can meet anywhere. But what matters is the conversations that ensue. What matters is that process of friendship that is built, that process of interaction, or like I always say, the non-sexual interaction, because sex complicates everything. One day I will just try to have a session where I would give reasons why I talk about sex the way I do, and telling people just do your best to chill. Just chill first. Wait, you will have the time later. It's not now. Just chill first. Okay. Now, when sex becomes the major player in that relationship, it's not going to work. It will spoil. You people will just be managing yourselves. You will be managing yourselves. You may be lucky and the marriage is working and stuff, but you know what I'm saying. Issues. I mean, check it out already. From hindsight, why have most relationships you've had, taking some funny turns? Many times it was when sex got involved. But let me move on. So people can meet anywhere on any platform. What matters most is the conversations that are happening. What are they saying to themselves? Okay, are they learning about each other, and are they ready to make this commitment to make it a great relationship? Okay. Finally, you need to know that there's hope for you irrespective of what you have experienced. There is hope for you. Never give up on yourself. Never give up on your relationship. Never give up on love and marriage. Okay, there is hope for you. And that is why I always say that a blissful marriage is possible and you deserve it. A blissful marriage is possible and you deserve it. I want you to just hear it over and over again. A blissful marriage is possible and you deserve it. Sometimes it's just from hearing it that you start pondering about it and you start finding ways to investigate if what I'm saying is really true. And then you will find the ways to make it work for yourself. A blissful marriage is possible and you deserve it. Start removing all of those negative ideas about relationship and marriage from your mind. Start removing them off one by one and just be filling that space with the fact that it is possible, it can be blissful, and I deserve it. Excuse me, and I will get it right. Okay, a blissful marriage is possible and I deserve it and I will get it right. Fill that up, fill that space in your mind, fill your belief with this, and you will be led to how you can make it work. I will have to stop here for now for time's sake. All right. Thank you for everyone who has joined us. I hope it was a good use of your time. Thank you. God bless you. Have a fantastic rest of the day. All right. And see you again tomorrow and then next week. Have a great evening. Bye.